Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
Well, hello there, Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
Hello there, Tracy.
Yeah, this is great. We're here in the Pod Lab, and we are discussing cosmetics. That's a big one.
It is. Big industry.
If you're brand new to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast, welcome aboard. Here's what we do. We take a topic that we think people will care about. We hope you care about it.
Yeah.
We kind of care about it, although this, okay.
I like how you say
well,
that.
I preface that with this. On this particular topic, both of us were kind of like, we weren't sure we were going to be able to find enough to talk about.
Oh, there always is.
And then once we started digging, we're like, oh my goodness.
Who would have thunk?
It's endless.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we take a topic every week and we bring it to the table. The two of us research it as much as we can and have time for.
Yeah.
And we don't have any assistants or, peons or interns or anything like that.
Yeah.
That help us. So we just have to go with our own selves. Hey, self, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cathrine, Tracy, and Google.
Yeah. And then we discuss it, what we hope is in an informative and entertaining way. And then at the end, we're going to bring you a little spiritual encouragement. Mm-hmm. We will point you to Jesus and the Word of God, the Bible. All right. Well, you have a couple takeaways from this podcast.
Believe it or not.
I know. We're going to talk about the makeup industry in general. Cathrine found an article that just generalizes a lot of things. So we're going to talk about that. And then I found a YouTube video about lipstick.
It's funny.
And it's called The Shocking History of Lipstick. So we're going to discuss the contents of that YouTube video. And then the final takeaway is with the Environmental Working Group. They have a website and it's ewg.org. And we're going to just go over like some of the possible benefits of putting in some ingredients into this website so that you can know what you're putting on your face, or on your body. Okay. And of course, like I said, we will point you to Jesus at the end. So stay tuned for that. Even the topic of cosmetics, found a Bible verse to go with it.
And we have a fun call to action.
Yes, we do. A really fun and funny call to action.
Yeah.
And we have sponsors, Cathrine. Who are they?
Kenny and Ron.
Who's that?
Our husbands.
And what do we call them?
We call them Muffin and Pooh. One's Muffin, one's Pooh. Together they're Puffin. Done. Boom.
Mic drop.
Ask no questions.
Yeah. And stay tuned. We've been saying this for about a year now, that we're going to give you an opportunity to support this podcast. And what we mean by that is we're going to give you an opportunity to give us money.
I was just going to say, it means...
money. It means money. Because it does cost money for us to host the podcast. We would like to grow the podcast. And so we would like to do some advertising, some social media marketing. We'd like to upgrade our equipment at some point. So we're going to need the podcast to be self-sustainable, meaning... a listener-supported podcast, because we don't have any other real sponsors,
Yeah, help us help you.
Yeah, well, that's right. Show me the money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and that's coming, by the way, this is episode number 98, and 2 episodes away. We are 2 episodes away from launching the opportunity for you to support this mission that we're on. So stay tuned for episode 100. We're going to drop it then.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. What about the makeup industry, Cathrine?
Well, it's not going anywhere. Like, it's not going to
It's
go
sticking around.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yes, makeup has been around for a very long time, which we'll talk about.
Right.
And I found this report. It's the Grand View Research. And the website is just about premium cosmetic, market size, the trends, analysis report, all that boring stuff. But in a nutshell, it's saying the global premium cosmetic market size is valued at $119.3 billion. That was in 2018. But this is current though, this particular report, and it's expected to expand at a CAGR. Now I forgot what CAGR means, but it's a measurement of some kind of 7.6 from 2019 to 2025. It says that because of people shifting. Consumers are shifting from their preferences to be premium cosmetics. Plus, people are buying more and more skin products, including men. And speaking of men, they are buying regular cosmetics more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And because of gender neutrality, they're selling more makeup because of that. And also, it says, too, that the pandemic did not slow down the cosmetic industry.
Which is shocking because we weren't going anywhere.
And we were wearing masks when we did. When I...
Right. But did you ever put lipstick on and then put your mask on?
Oh, yeah, I did do that. And I
did
hated
that.
it.
I know,
Yeah.
because I was like, dang it.
But
I can't see my pretty lips.
I know, but there was so many times where I thought, well, I got to wear this mask. No sense in putting on anything but eye makeup.
Seriously, I think that the pandemic would have been a great time for adult braces. That would have been the time to get them. Right? If you needed adult braces, you missed your window.
But it wasn't essential, so
right.
couldn't have done that. Yeah.
True.
Right. So for those reasons, they're gaining traction and more people spending. Oh, also because of dispendable income, and more women are independent, financially independent. So therefore, they're spending it.
Well, if you've got it, you know what they say, spend it.
Well,
if you
Dave Ramsey hopefully is not listening to that.
Well, and if you need stuff, like if you need a good healthcare routine, and maybe obviously you can go all the way from just a few dollars for facial cleanser, all the way to hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So you can find something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's good information. The beauty industry is here to stay.
It is. I was kind of curious and wanting to do this podcast because, so for example, our little department stores like Penny's, well, they got in Sephora, right? Because it's a moneymaker. The cosmetic industry is a moneymaker. Well, next thing you know, now Kohl's has Sephora. And now Target, I don't know about all Targets, but they said, Ulta makes money. Let's bring a portion of Ulta into the store. And it's such a smart thing to do because it is bringing in money. It
is, but I wonder how in Target, there's a pretty significant cosmetic section of Target anyway. I wonder how those people felt about Ulta coming in and taking up a big old section of the store.
Well, when I've been in there, they still have that section. But just like this report says, more and more people are wanting premium makeup.
Right.
They're also wanting more and more, like they have this trust in these premium products. So now they can satisfy both consumers, those that are just getting the, kind of pharmacy-like makeup, and then the premium makeups. So
yeah. And, you mentioned that men are getting into skincare, even cosmetics, things like that. This morning, we're at Bible study at our little church down the street, and I get a text from my son, Adam. He's 23, right? Isn't that how old he is?
Yeah.
No. He's older than that. He's 24.
He's going to be 25 in February?
I think so. Anyway, he was born in 1999, so he's not 22. My other son is 21.
Right, but isn't he 23?
Yeah. 23. That's the number I wanted. 23. I can usually remember the ages of the oldest and the youngest, but it just starts to get blurred in the middle there. I'm like, which one? How old? When's their birthday? Somebody asked me the other day if my son graduated in a certain year, like they were trying to figure out.
I hate when
I was like, no, I don't know. There's too many of them.
Do you know, I only have 3, but I don't know the years Patrick and Emily graduated. I think 2014 and 15.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know.
None. Well, okay, the only one I know is the baby because he graduated in 2020, and that was the year of pigs flying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his graduation was so different.
Yeah. And funny you should say that because I know that Ellis graduated in 2019 because I remember thinking, oh, wow, she,
just missed all that.
Right.
Okay, so here's the text from my son. So I'm sitting at Bible study and I get this text from my grown son And he says, "Are you taking requests for Christmas yet?" Question mark, question mark. And then the two googly eyeballs, you know. And this was at 9:04 a.m. that I noticed the text. So Bible study was just kicking off. And I said, hee, what you got in mind? And he says, Dr. Squatch products. I'll send you a link later. Well, so then, of course, I looked at the Dr. Squatch products, and it's a full line of men's care items, you know, so that you can look, you know, and smell good. And I'm looking at their website now. So it's, you know, bar soaps. They've got bundles, hair care, deodorant, lotion, toothpaste, shower boosters, whatever that is, beard oil, candles, cologne, hand soap.
Well, and that's, you know, it's not too surprising that a lot of these like little gifty shops and like boutique things have a section of those products for men.
Yeah. Oh, and get this. Okay. They have 3 little sections here for Star Wars, Batman, and Spider-Man.
Of course they do.
You can get branded stuff with that. So you can get your Batman stuff. And they really infuse a sense of humor in a lot of the packaging of these brands, which I think is funny. And then they
clever.
Entertaining. I mean, people like that. I mean, I like it. And then they also have this little disclaimer over on the side, if I can get back to it. I don't know why it's not letting me go back. Oh, there we go. It says, explore our natural ingredients and many scents from head to toe. So they're talking about the natural ingredients that they use, and that's a big draw. The packaging is a lot too. I mean, it's like Sasquatch, you know, with a pipe. It's
for
just
sure.
funny.
Yeah. Packaging.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing with the marketplace, right? So we look at the industry, the cosmetics industry. These people are salespeople. They want to sell their things.
That's right.
And the more that we figure out how to sell the things, the more that those industries are going to grow. Now we have the internet. We have social media.
Right.
We have influencers.
Right.
And the brands like the Squatch, the Dr. Squatch, and then like the big name brands like Procter & Gamble and L'Oreal and all of that, they have people on this 24/7 figuring out where are the people. Oh, they're at Target. Right. All right, well, let's send Ulta over to Target. And while they're buying their Target stuff, we're going to get them to buy their Ulta stuff.
That's right. And a lot of these like well-known things like Procter & Gamble, they're merging. You know, I don't know about them specifically, but a lot of these companies, they know how to do just that.
They're wheeling and dealing.
They are. They are.
It's a win-win.
Because,
it's a win-win because they all make money. And then it's a win-win. So, all right. Anything else about the industry itself that you wanted to share?
No, not about the market things.
Okay. Well, let's go into the shocking history of lipstick.
Let's do that.
This was a fun little video. Cathrine and I have different learning styles. She has to read stuff, and I don't have time for that. So I listen. I like to be read too.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know, but because I'm usually doing other things while I'm listening, and that frees me. There's some sort of a freeingness, something that happens. So I'm one of those auditory learners. You know, I need to be jiggling, tapping, looking, moving, something. Which
is funny because I can't stand sitting still. Like I'm not at all sedentary. I like to be moving, but for some reason when it comes down to like concentration and for an episode, I feel like I gotta really hone in. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, I found this fun YouTube video, The Shocking History of Lipstick, and they talk about going all the way back to the Sumerian royal tomb.
So scandalous. Not there,
Queen
but later.
Shabad. And they discovered her bones and all that, the royal tomb, like in the 20s or something.
Yeah.
And they found evidence that she used cosmetics, that she used lipstick. And then it goes on, it talks about Elizabeth I, that she used a half an inch of lip paint, half an inch on her lips. And
that's a lot.
Well, it is a lot. And it wasn't the kind of lipstick that we're accustomed to.
Oh, no.
It was made out of lead. And crushed gemstones.
Yeah.
And it eventually poisoned her. So That was not good.
No.
Talk about, dress to kill. Then in the 1700s, the English Parliament, our friends on the other side of the ocean there, they banned lipstick because they said it tricked men. Those darn women putting on those lipstick, tricking us.
How dare she look that away?
Beautiful.
It's stirring up all kinds of things in this man.
They banned it. They banned lipstick in Parliament because they said that the women were tricking the men, and they actually made a law that if the man had gotten tricked, right?
But in what way did he get tricked?
By the lipstick.
Yes, but into what? What did he get tricked into?
Getting married. Getting married.
Right.
The lipstick did it.
That's right.
But then once they're married, if the guy decides she takes off the lipstick and he's like, oh, it's a no-go,
right,
he can get out of it like it never happened.
Yeah, but then
It's
they
null and
added to
void.
that the heels,
Yeah.
the puffy hips.
Yeah.
What else was it?
Something about teeth.
Probably the bustier. Oh my God, she's a dog.
Woof. Woof. Yeah,
She tricked me.
then they said it's witchcraft.
Oh yes,
It's witchcraft.
Even though she has to reapply it over and over.
Idiot.
Because if it were real witchery, it'd stay on, wouldn't it?
Oh gosh. Yeah, so that was interesting.
And it passed. They tried it at one point and it failed.
Yeah.
But eventually it passed.
It's like, yeah, that's our biggest problem, the lipstick. And during that period that the English were going over that, the American colonies were getting settled. And the women over here, like Mrs. Washington, Martha Washington, she was known for making her own lipstick out of hog's lard and the guts of whales.
Nice.
And another method of making lipstick in the American colonies was to use red ribbons, like the dye from red ribbons, and to suck lemons.
Okay. When I first heard the little video,
Yeah.
I heard it
Oh, no. What did you hear?
with red ribbons. I was picturing little Betsy Ross or whoever, Martha, with her lips puckered out and tying a ribbon around her pucker and squeezing it till her lips were red. And I was like, wait.
Like pulling the blood into the
Yes.
lips? Oh, my gosh.
That's
Cathrine.
how I interpreted at first. Like, when she ties a ribbon around till her lips.
Now that.
Although they probably would have been blue.
Well, yeah.
Not
Be
red.
like, call 911.
Right.
This woman's dying.
I was like, wow.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. That is hilarious.
Gosh.
Well, it's funny to me that while Parliament over in England, while they're banning the use of lipstick, right? Here in the American colonies, they're making it out of these crazy things,
Yeah. Well, we're always.
difference.
I know. Yeah. Funny.
Yeah. So that was interesting. In ancient Greece, they only harlots wore the lip color so that the men could pick them out.
Yeah, well,
Figure out.
identify them.
Yeah. Who's got those ideas?
Looks cheap.
Oh, and they made their lipstick in ancient Greece out of crocodile dung.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Crocodile dung and something else they said with that. I forgot what it was.
But like, who wouldn't think of that?
Oh, yeah, like that's nice to kiss.
Well, and I don't know why they. I mean, I can understand doing the red ribbon thing, not the way you described it. But crocodile dung? I don't think I would
First
think
of all-
of any use for that.
Right. Like who came up with that? You know?
Some scientists
Well,
in
let's put the
ancient
dung,
Greece.
smear it on our lips,
Yeah,
and then let's kiss that person.
some man somewhere.
I don't know.
Like he
But you
get
know,
these
the
women.
whale fat, like makeup was made out of that forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Gross.
the animal rights people were like, no more of that.
Okay, in the 1800s, Sarah Bernhardt was an actress, and she was all over the gossip columns and papers because she put her lipstick on in public.
Yes.
Scandalous.
Well, yeah. I will tell you. I watch a lot of crime, right? And listen to it. There have been times throughout my whole life where I have been like, I want to put, I mean, I feel naked without my lipstick.
Okay.
But there are times when I'll see a guy who looks like a creeper and I do not want to put my lipstick on.
Really?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Or if I'm suspicious of a guy and I think he's a perv, I will not put my lipstick on.
Oh,
because
wow.
I feel like
You just don't want to be
like-
noticed. You should try it that other way with the ribbons, That would deter a criminal. Not going anywhere near that crazy gal.
crazy, yeah.
Okay. In 1912, the suffragettes, which we did have an episode on that, so on women's suffrage movement, so please listen to that.
Yes.
In 1912, the suffragettes declared lipstick a sign of their liberation and like of their, womanhood.
Right.
So they were all over the bright red lips.
Such rebels in every way.
Yeah.
Lipstick and wanting to vote.
Well,
How
and
dare they?
remember, we went over this a little bit. Remember the pantaloons that they got into? The women,
Yes.
that
Yes.
movement. If you, friends, if you have not listened to our podcast on the suffrage movement, just tune in.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of shocked at the
Well,
tenacity of these women.
and how long it took.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what tenacity means, Catherine. Anyway,
Okay.
go ahead. Yes. Agreed.
I thought tenacity meant like the boldness and
Yeah, but
strength.
it's over time. Like it's the stick-to-itiveness, It's the I'm not going to give up. It's
Oh, well, that was embarrassing.
That's okay.
I'm 53 and I have misused tenacity.
Stop. We are a mess. We're snorting and I
Maybe-
can barely breathe.
We'll see how it sounds when I edit, and then I also don't want to be embarrassed. Maybe I'll take that whole part out.
Do what you want. Do what you want. Be your tenacious self. Oh, gosh.
Oh gosh.
That feels good to laugh. Thank you for that. I lost my place. Oh, okay, wait. Here I am. During World War II, bright red lipstick. Let me say that one more time. Bright red lipstick became a symbol of patriotism for the simple reason that it became known that Hitler hated bright red lipstick.
Of course he did.
And so women around the world were wearing bright red lipstick
In rebellion.
against that. And they called it Montezuma red in the United States. Okay. During the Great Depression, lipstick sales soared. They soared.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Well, yeah, like the pandemic, I guess, apparently.
And now if you go back to way back in the early church, they a couple of men thought that lipstick was a sin against God. It was an act against God to wear lipstick.
Well, only loose women wore.
Well, these guys claimed that it was altering God's creation, and that's why it was ultimately a sin. I don't know where what their big beef was.
Well, I would assume and do assume that the translation of that is they couldn't control themselves.
Oh,
When
yeah.
a woman
Yeah.
was done up. I mean, they were all like, what do we do now? I can't look at her.
And it's just red lips.
Yeah.
Okay. Cleopatra, as we know, like the Egyptian drawings and whatever history, the Egyptian men and women both used makeup. Color on their lips, on their
Around
cheeks,
their eyes.
and definitely on their eyes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the ancient world used it a lot. And,
Yes.
Right.
I think if you look at it, the cosmetic industry is a very creative one, especially with the use of color, and it is an expression. And the examples that we gave here, oftentimes people were using whatever was at their beck and call to creatively express themselves. So if they wanted to be rebellious against the Hitler and the World War II and whatever they could do, well, maybe they were not able to go and fight in the war or whatever, but they could get some red lipstick and put it on and show that they were in support of,
Yeah. And even during, in wartime, I mean, American Indians in the war paint, and it looks intimidating.
Right.
I mean, even football players, don't they put that stripe under their eye when they're playing football? I know it's for reflection of the sun or whatever, but it's used for so many different things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good point in terms of going off to battle and war and stuff. So it's just a way to express, as well as today with a lot of different groups of people. You can express your creativity with the colors in your hair. You can express your creativity with eye makeup. We see a lot and fun makeup tutorials. And stay tuned. We're going to give you a little tip for a special tutorial of the best one.
The best way to put it on.
Right. You're going to hear that in a little bit. So please don't tune out just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. That's about all I have to say about the shocking history of lipstick. It would be funny if somebody came up with a new cosmetic made out of crocodile dung.
Yeah.
Come and get my crocodile dung lipstick. Somebody would buy it, though, just out of the uniqueness of it. They would.
It's crazy.
All right. That was fun and funny. Let's move on to this other, the EWG. Okay. This is our third takeaway. Environmental Working Group. They have a website. It's ewg.org. And I have not gone through the entire site because it's quite involved. But I will say this. It looks as though it has, and it gives you an opportunity to look at the ingredients in your cosmetics. So you can take anything that you have in your bathroom, whether it be a shampoo, lipstick, mascara, anything, anything that would fit into the beauty industry, and you can put the ingredients in here, and then you can see if they're harmful. And they'll give you, like whether or not they've had scientific studies done on them.
Yeah, and it's nice because it'll give you a grading system.
Yeah, and they do have verified products. And just full disclosure, I did read that in order to get verified, you do have to pay this ewg.org. You have to pay $500 just to apply for verification. And then, they take you through the process. And I don't know what's involved. I didn't speak to anybody from this website or from this group. So, take it with a grain of salt, but at least it's a database where you can go in and take a look at ingredients.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would go as far as to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to throw all my trust into this EWG thing because I don't know what their agenda is, who they're working for, who's paying the bills,
right.
Because you have to be skeptic now.
Yeah.
You have to question everything. All right. So if you just go there to ewg.org, you can plug in all your stuff, and then you can see if your stuff is, it grades it on a system, like it uses red, yellow, green.
Yeah.
And if it's in the red zone, stop, really be careful.
Really high in toxicity.
Yeah. And I did check a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stuff that I use, in fact, all of my makeup is Melaleuca. And it's not, it does have some ingredients that are not from the earth, and it came up on here as being in the okay zone.
Yeah.
It's not horrible, but it's not completely organic either. So I don't know. I mean, on their end, they claim that everything that they have is, good for you.
Well,
but they're selling it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, just saying. Okay. That's it for that. Did you have anything else to add?
No, but as we've been talking, I wish that I had done this before our podcast. I would like to know how many years a girl or woman spends putting makeup on in her lifetime. I one time knew that, I think it's 20 years altogether when you add up all the minutes
and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long time.
I mean, I started putting makeup on, just mascara and maybe some lip stuff.
Yeah.
Around 12.
Yeah. That sounds like it's about the right age.
12. Yeah. And ever since. Oh, and a lot of hair product at the time.
It is time consuming, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the process, because it feels good on my face. I use a citrus, sort of a exfoliator, vitamin C citrus. So it has a fragrant, it smells like oranges. It feels great when I'm washing my face with it. It's a little grainy.
Yeah.
And then the the next step is the rinse it off, and then you do the wash, and then rinse that off, and then put a little bit of the moisturizer on. So I like the process of it.
Yeah. Funny. I no longer use exfoliating stuff. I mean, you look great, but this, what are they?
She's about to throw exfoliation under the bus.
You're not supposed to. Like, you're not supposed to be rough. So I don't know.
Well, I don't bleed, Catherine. You know I don't have a high pain tolerance.
I knew you were going to say something like that. I'm just saying anyway. But I do put moisturizer on. I do that whole thing, you know.
Yeah. And I like the creative process too of like doing my eyes and, you know, trying not to look old. Trying to look like relevant, you know, like, oh yeah. And you like to have like the hip colors and all that. Yeah. And that kind of has ebb and flow to it. We learned that on the video that we watched too, like during the hippie time, you know, in the 60s. It was all
natural kind of look. You know, it's funny they said that about the 60s, but it had to be completely divided because while that's true, the later 60s, especially closer to the 70s, yes, it was all natural. But, I mean, the early 60s especially, they had a ton of eyeliner and those thick, you know, fake eyelashes, which we're doing again now. And
you know, we're all such individuals. I mean, there are women today that they don't want to and they don't use any kind of makeup, and it's fine. I mean, if you want to, do. And if you don't want to,
you know,
don't.
I just remembered this one time. It was so funny. One of our friends had a makeup. I don't even remember which product it was. Yeah, but it was a makeup party. And this other friend, she was very frugal, very, you know, just not into putting makeup on. Anyway, she's like, oh, there's days I don't even wash my face. Why would I put on makeup? And we just laughed and laughed. It was so funny.
Yeah. To each his own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to our inspirational close. And that is from 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 3 and 4. And it says this: your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight.
This is true.
And this is some instruction, you know, that we get to just look at the inside. Don't focus on the outside.
Yeah.
Because really that's where God looks anyway.
Well, right. And some people just radiate from the inside out. You ever notice that? Like, there's times where I'm in Shipshewan and there's a lot of Amish people there. And I look at their skin, the women, you know, and they don't have makeup on. They look so like milk and honey, literally. You know, the skin is just like porcelain.
Speaking of that, remember we learned in one of our discussions of our research the other day before we were going to record this the other day, and then we got busy shopping at Goodwill. And we didn't get to it.
Oh, yeah.
But we talked about how in the era of, I think it was Queen Elizabeth I, it was really popular to have pale white skin, and it was a signal that you didn't have to work outside in the sun, like in the fields and such.
Yeah, like highborn people in the Victorian era, it was frowned upon to have makeup.
Yeah. And so that was popular to be pasty white
and also, overweight.
And I was like, I am living in the wrong era. I am.
If you were plump, that meant you didn't work.
And you had plenty of food.
Right.
Love it.
Well to do.
Okay. I'm looking for our makeup tutorial because I'm going to recommend this. Okay, friends, this is so much fun. It's on my YouTube channel, which is at YouTube. Oh, darn it.
Oh, and it's playing.
Sorry. It launches right away. I've got these, a bunch of videos that you can watch, but this one in particular is a how-to video. I'm trying to get the whole playlist to come up, and this is ridiculous that I can't get it. Here, I found it.
Okay.
And
in the YouTube.
In YouTube. And how come it's not coming up?
But wasn't it just playing just now?
No, that was a different one.
It was something else.
I have a bunch of them, Cathrine.
Well, shouldn't they just put in makeup tutorial?
Okay, listen, this is what I'll do. I will put it in the pandemic. Cathrine and I were bored one day, and we had seen a couple of funny tutorials that were of somebody sitting in the front and then someone else sitting. What's the matter?
The Audacity is acting up. Keep going, though.
Okay. Anyway, we saw these funny tutorials and we decided we would try it. So it's me sitting in the front, and then we have a shirt on or whatever where you can't see Catherine's arm. Her arms are my arms. So it's Catherine's arms, but it's my face. And she's putting makeup on me and I'm walking her through it. And it's quite funny. So I'm going to put it in the show notes. So that's your takeaway. It's your call to action.
Okay. And what's our scripture?
I already did that.
Did you?
Peter.
Okay. All right. We need to wrap up because I don't know if this is recording properly.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast.